There are two types of luxury stores. The ones that feel expensive in a good way, cozy, welcoming, but sophisticated, and the ones that you feel afraid to walk inside unless this is your world and you've been wealthy for a while and you're just really used to that atmosphere. Today, I want to talk about the second type. Most of us have been there. We've seen a beautiful store with an item inside that maybe we would love to have a closer look at, perhaps to buy or perhaps just to look at. That's the point of in-person shopping experiences now, isn't it? To window shop and perhaps to make a purchase. However, there's this entire class of stores that give this vibe that you're not welcome inside. From a luxury insider, I know that this is not true. Sure, maybe there's that small 1% of stores that actually does not want people to come in and browse unless they are multi-millionaires, but the vast majority of luxury stores do want those more middle or upper middle class consumers. As we all know, this is the majority of people. This is the majority of shoppers, and the amount of volume that this consumer group drives is absolutely worth it for luxury brands. Of course, Louis Vuitton is going to love it if you walk in and you buy a $10,000 offering. However, that's not the majority of people's situation. So buying those $200 keychains or wallets actually makes up a huge portion of their revenue. So then why do these stores feel so intimidating? And how does this hurt the bottom line? I blame visibility, and uncomfortable visibility to be exact. There's this theory that we discuss a lot in architectural and philosophy disciplines written by French philosopher Foucault called the panopticon theory. It's spatial and it's psychological, and therefore it has so much to do with consumer behavior. Now, the theory of the panopticon is one about how humans behave when they feel that they're being watched. The observation started out in the prison system, where they were trying to figure out how to enforce behavior while minimizing the amount of staffing that was needed. Observers noticed that when there was a watchtower in the center of a prison and it was situated and had materiality in such a way that you couldn't actually tell who was inside, when they were inside, and which direction they were watching, prisoners behaved a lot better than when there was a guard maybe circling the block and you could track and knew exactly where they were and when you were being watched. This feeling that perhaps I'm being watched right now turned into the assumption that you are being watched all the time. And so therefore it policed behavior. Now, in that setting, assuming that everybody in that prison deserved to be there, you could see how this is a very good thing. But how is this applicable to luxury brands and just everyday living? In a more contemporary setting, we have these mini panopticons and these layers of panopticons that we have created for ourselves. Social media is one, just general surveillance, CCTV, and the rise of technology, knowing that every single person has a camera in their pocket and every single store has security cameras, creates this entire societal feeling that we are being watched all the time. Now, there are of course good things that come with this, but the negative trade-off is that we police our own behavior and we don't feel comfortable doing things that we want to do all the time. This happens very intensively in a context, in a setting like a luxury store. We see things like elevated sales desks, open sight lines, glass facades, and airiness and neutral colors, things that are very allied with what we imagine first as luxury interior design or luxury storefront design. This, of course, is not even considering the security guard that sometimes is manning the door. Another cycle that we often see is that sometimes these stores, especially those smaller luxury brands, don't have many customers in them. And so when you're looking in, considering if you would like to go browse, you're seeing that there are 5 employees and maybe 1 other customer in the store, and you're thinking, all eyes are going to be on me, I'm gonna get ganged up on, I'm gonna feel pressured to buy something, or I'm just gonna be in an uncomfortable social situation where everybody is watching me enjoy and look through these items. And though Foucault's panopticon was very intentionally designed, I believe that many of the modern panopticons that we live with are accidental and not even necessarily strategic, and therefore harm some of our real intentionality. I don't think that many people, when building a store, are thinking, how can I create a circumstance of self-surveillance? How can I make people feel uncomfortable or unworthy to be here? Perhaps there's an element of somebody many years ago wanted to separate the haves and have-nots, the worthy and the unworthy, and therefore created a design language that would do just this. But many of us here in 2026 are not aiming to do these things, but that just take for granted and take what's given to us in history and continue to perpetuate those actions. So I'm interested in ways in which we can design for access while still having the experience feel elevated. There are stores that exemplify this really well, that feel exploratory, that feel cozy and comforting. Some use rich, warm colors, some are darker and have all sorts of nooks and crannies in different areas, and some of them are still bright and airy, but there's just something about the way the store feels that welcomes you in. With today's modern loss prevention technologies, most of us don't need to resort to a panopticon-like feeling, and so many of us are leaving revenue on the table by not being thoughtful about the designs that we are implementing. I'm questioning with you today why luxury uses architecture as a gatekeeping tool, and asking you to interrogate if that's still a viable strategy. My name's Tosin, and I'm the founding principal of Atelier Oluwatosin. We are a brand consultancy working at this exact intersection. When I founded this company, I was drawing from my MBA and my Master's of Architecture degree. And so the research that I did while I pursued my 2 master's degrees really set the foundation for the type of company that I wanted to found. Today, we work with clients across digital design, physical design, and strategy, really creating these holistic 360-degree systems that help them meet their business goals and their impact goals. If you are building something and would love to have a conversation, I would be delighted to talk to you. Reach out, let's have a Zoom coffee date, and I will talk to you soon. Take good care.